People are panicking over so many possible things that could happen with Trump now in office. One of the most important things and significant things happens to be the Department of Education, in which he has promised to cut. I have been asked, if Donald Trump gets rid of the Department of Education, what does that mean for high school and student athletes in California? What's up, guys? It's your girl T, your PR and media expert, also your favorite sports mom. I am a California girl in a California world, and I was doing some work for one of my clients who happens to be in education. Also, I've received this question from several people. I'm an LA County Commissioner, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I know and what I understand about what to be worried about and what not. Now, some of this stuff I know off the top of my head, some of this stuff I took some notes on to make sure I give you some accurate information and allow for you to kind of figure it out on your own moving forward. So to be clear, if Donald Trump does get rid of the Department of Education, please understand that for student athletes in California and across the nation, the effects will be profound. At the end of the day, though, the impact will depend on how local and state government actually handle and respond to some of these cuts. So it's definitely one of those moments where I'm incredibly inspired by the fact that we have Gavin Newsom and not whoever is running Mississippi, because they are a state that is at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to education. It's also a Republican-run state, so how did that happen? Anytime the federal government opts out of taking control of things, it shifts to local and state government control, which might be good if you have people at the top that are actually making good decisions. So let's start with high school students. Basically, the state government, California state government, would have to independently manage educational funding and policy. I mean, take note of this. California is well equipped to do this, but, given the size and the budgets that they are or would be in charge of managing, the disparities between the wealthy neighborhoods and the underfunded communities would really come into play. So where federal government oversight ensures minimum standards, California's government would have to step in and make sure that those disparities were actually well managed. States would have complete control over curriculum and educational standards. But take note of this, while California continues to emphasize rigorous and very high academic standards, other states would weaken theirs, right? Potentially impacting the national recognition of California's students. So now we're getting into college admissions and workforce competition. Okay, so let's talk about money. Federal funding makes up about 8 to 10% of the K through 12 educational budget. And for California, this equates to billions, not millions, billions of dollars. A lot of that money goes to Title I, low income, and IDEA for disabled students. Minus that 8 to 10% of funding, high schools then have to decide how they prioritize funding to be able to take care of those programs. And what we already know is that puts vulnerable communities at risk. So when we talk about student athletes, obviously the government puts a lot of money into Title IX, which helps gender equality in sports. What's going to happen is female athletics is going to see a reduction in funding, opportunities, and protection. So less opportunities for girls in sports in high school obviously translate to less opportunities in college. So then it becomes an NCAA thing. And that basically means that NCAA eligibility could become more challenging for student athletes across the board that are aiming for scholarships. What a nightmare for girls in sports. I'm feeling a theme here. Okay, I'm feeling a theme. So California, the progressive state that we are, is going to do as much as they can to mitigate some of these issues that cause more inequities and instability in education. So they've already started working on this. That's the difference between being proactive and reactive. So they already know they're going to have to increase state funding through higher taxes or reallocation of budgets. They're going to need some new oversight bodies to replace those in the federal roles. There's going to be some new state-specific standards put in place. And there's probably likely to be some partnerships with private organizations to support sports and extracurricular activities, arts and sciences, students with disabilities, things like that. So if your student isn't an athlete but wants to go to college, and we're trying to figure out what that looks like, to be honest, the removal of the student grants and loans, in which I got to college on, that are managed through the Department of Education would disproportionately hurt low-income students. This move would reduce college attendance rates, period. Who benefits from that? I mean, student athletes relying on scholarships would find fewer options. The ones that actually need the scholarships to go to college, there's going to be fewer options from them, but I also feel like, which is something that usually happens, is private organizations, scholarships, and funds kind of come up as needed. There's a lot of private organizations that are willing to invest in the future of amazing athletes and students that will continue to take our country forward, especially in California. So let's not get it twisted. Getting rid of the Department of Education would likely deepen inequities in education in California. It's going to happen. Wealthier districts and states will thrive, and vulnerable people and communities, they will suffer. For parents and student athletes, I would say stay the course. Keep your kids on course to move forward. There's always going to be scholarships, grants, and opportunities that arise that will help those talented students get to the next level. While California has resources to adapt, we are going to face some considerable challenges. However, we have it better than most. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a California girl living in my California world, and in this moment, I couldn't be more proud to be from California, because in moments like this that are challenged socially, we always rise. We always lead, we always innovate, and we always show the strength of this state. I don't know, in these uncertain times, I just lean on the hustle that my grandfather taught me and, continue to do the things I know is right and support the communities that I love. And I hope you do the same. Lean on your communities because we're going to need it. All right, I'd love to know your thoughts. And until next time, bye.